Christy Lin from K&N Creative Company, social media consultant for NHT Global Corporate. Christy, can you hear me?
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking this time out to join us today. I'm actually coming to you from Los Angeles, California. I would say sunny California, but it is not sunny today. We have lots of rain. Again, like Antonella said, I work as an independent consultant for various types of businesses specializing in social media marketing. I just started working with NHT this past November, and I've been really excited to be a part of this growing organization. And I feel honored to have this opportunity to speak with you guys and go over some best practices on how to use social media to get your business growing and your sales increasing. So we can go ahead and get started. Before we do get started, I should mention, if you guys have any questions as I'm going through the slides, please feel free to write them down or even type them into the chat box over there on the side. And there will be a time at the end for us to kind of go through some of those questions, and I will take some time to answer some of them. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, we are going to go over best practices for social selling. And before we dive into some of the best practices, it's probably important that we discuss, what exactly is social selling. Social selling is considered the art of using social media to find, connect with, and nurture sales prospects. It is the modern way to develop meaningful relationships with potential customers. Gone are the days of cold calling anymore. Most people actually will not answer cold calling emails or cold calling phone calls anymore. So social media really has taken its place or taking their place in that scenario. All right, so now that we've gone over what social selling is, we should also define what it is not. And I want to be very clear with this. Social selling is not bombarding strangers with unsolicited messages. This is actually called spam, and it is highly, highly frowned upon in the social media world. Social media was built to be about relationships. It was not made for selling. So they're very picky about things coming across as spam. Again, if you don't build a relationship first, people really are not going to care how great your product is or how low the price is, especially in the direct selling market that we're all in, where everyone has a friend that is selling something. One of the basic rules of business is that people will buy from people they know, like, and trust. So again, developing and creating that relationship first is extremely important. In fact, Teddy Roosevelt said it a different way, but kind of the same thing. People don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Again, driving home that fact that relationship really is the most important part of the social selling process. So let's go over a minute why social media and social selling is so important. And really the basic answer is it just works. It is working right now. If you think about it for a minute, where else would you have the opportunity to connect with people from high school, past coworkers, old friends, family members living out of state, all at the same time and in the same place? All those people I just mentioned are most likely going to be your first customers. So again, it provides you with opportunities to connect and build relationships with lots of current and potential customers. Number two, people are already online and buying online. And again, the theory is, why try to reinvent the wheel? Go where the customers already are. If you actually take a look at the graph to your right, this shows you the number of people that are active on social media sites dating back to 2010. And you can see the continual growth in that graph. If you look closely, back in 2019, just last year, there were 2.77 billion users active on social media. And again, that number is predicted to keep rising this year and into the next year as well. Another reason why it's so important is your top competitors are already probably using it, and those are the people you are competing with. In fact, studies show that 78% of people engaged in social selling are outselling their peers who are not utilizing it at all. That really makes a big difference. So again, those are some of the basic reasons on why this is so important and why you want to get the hang of this and you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So now going into discussing, I know there's a lot of different platforms out there and you're probably wondering, well, what should I start with or what platform should I use? And I know most of you are probably hoping for some kind of clear-cut answer and formula, but I don't actually have that for you because there isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. The best way I can explain it, again, is the first one. Pay attention to what social sites your friends and family members are already on, since they are most likely going to be, your first customers. Again, like I said before, don't try to reinvent the wheel. You want to go where your customers already are and not try to bring them to a site that they're not using. So that would be number one. And number two, I recommend choosing a platform that fits your personality and your interests. Obviously, not everybody likes the same things. Some people love taking photos. Others like to be in front of the camera and are more active with video. And still, there are some people who are really good with text and the written word. And there are platforms that highlight each of these different things. So figuring out which platform fits best for you and what you like best is actually going to be more beneficial in the long run. Again, if you choose a platform that you don't understand and you just hate using, it's just going to cause a lot of headache and frustration for you, and you most likely won't stick with it. So again, don't try to force it. Do what works for you. A quick side note on that, though, would be, I know some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, I'm not comfortable with doing any of those things. And that's okay, but I do encourage you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and just try it. Try some of the different sites. Put yourself out there a little bit. It will get more natural for you, and you'll start to learn what works for you and what doesn't and what you enjoy doing. So next, this is a slide that kind of goes over the different social sites and how to best use each one. And let's be honest, because I don't know anybody who doesn't love donuts, so we're going to use donuts as our example to explain this. Again, you can see there's a lot of different platforms even listed right here, and this doesn't even touch the majority of them that are out there. Plus, there are new ones that are popping up every day. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these. I'm just going to highlight the top few of them that happen to be the most popular. So if you start in the upper left corner with Facebook, you can see that their explanation of Facebook is just a simple, I like donuts. And the reason they post that way is because Facebook is really known for providing status updates. It's about sharing with people what you're doing, feeling, and thinking right now in the moment. If you've been on Facebook, you know that even in their text box, it says, hey, what's on your mind? You can post photos, articles, videos, lengthy text. Facebook is actually by far the most diverse content-wise, and it is actually the most popular and widely used of all of these platforms, and it has been for quite some time. Instagram, heading over to the other side, on the other hand, is all about showing off photos. So you can see in the explanation there, when it comes to a donut, it is, here's a photo of my donut. Instagram is basically photos or very short video clips. The quality of your graphics and photos tend to be really important on Instagram because that is the main thing that everybody is looking at. So if you love taking creative photos of everything you do see and eat, then this is definitely one that you want to be on and look into. Heading back over to the other side, Twitter. Twitter, you can see right there, it says, I'm eating a hashtag donut. As most of you know, Twitter is famous for coming up with the elusive hashtag. Twitter is used more though for headlines and quick witty sentences along with hashtags. It is best used for providing live continual updates and creating running conversations. Your posts have to be short and to the point because Twitter actually gives you a character limit of 280 characters. I would say that this site is probably the most time consuming and the most hands-on because everything is so short. They designed it so that every tweet that you put out is like a constant conversation. So whereas opposed to with Facebook and Instagram, you can get away with posting once or twice a day. Twitter, they typically recommend like 5 to 10 times a day. So that's just something to keep in mind, but it is really good for connecting to talking about news articles or relevant events and stuff like that. So the other one I'm going to go over is one down from Twitter, and that is YouTube. And the reason I'm going to go over YouTube is because obviously, as that says, here's a video of me eating a donut. YouTube is strictly for videos and tutorials. So if you love creating step-by-step tutorials, testimonial videos, or kind of like how-to videos, then YouTube is definitely one of the places that you want to be on. Okay, so moving on. Liking, commenting, and sharing. We are going to go over the different 3 a minute. This, again, is mostly on Facebook, but you can actually do the liking and commenting on Instagram as well. The examples on this are going to be from Facebook though. So liking, commenting, and sharing. Why is this so important? On Facebook, Facebook actually uses an algorithm that calculates which posts they're going to show based on how much engagement each post receives. So for every like, comment, and share on a post, it contributes to a higher engagement rate, which then through Facebook's algorithm allows that post to be seen by more people. So again, if we break this down a little bit, liking a post, when you like a post, it will actually notify the owner of the post that you saw it and you liked, approved of what was posted. It is a quick, simple, and easy way to acknowledge what they shared. And here's an example. This is what it looks like when you like a post, and all you have to do is actually just click on that like button. The other one is commenting. When you leave a comment on a post, we actually consider it to be a lot more personal. It's like starting a conversation with a person. It shows them that you care, that you're interested, and you want to dig a little bit deeper. So an example of that, what that would look like is here. Again, you hit that comment button and then you can type anything in, but I put in there, you know, this is a really great product. It's one of my favorites. And then the last one is sharing. When you share a post, it's actually probably considered the highest form of flattery in the social media world because it shows you actually stand behind the message of the post and you want to help get the word out and spread the message. So again, when you do that, this is what it looks like. You click on that share button, and it gives you on Facebook a lot of different options. You can share it to your page, you can send it as a message, share it in your group, and we'll kind of go over those different things later on. But again, to give you an example in like the real world, if you were to like one of NHT Global's posts, we would get notified that you like it, and it would put your name on there. It would show us that you were the one that liked our post. When you go and leave a comment on the post, we actually see that as an open invitation to have a conversation with you, and we will typically respond and leave a comment back to you. When you share one of our posts, you are actually helping us spread the word further than we could do it on our own. Because when you share a post, now all of your friends are going to see that post as well. And those are all people that we as a company don't have access to unless they have already liked our page. Now, don't get me wrong, all of these things can also benefit you as an individual or as a distributor as well. Because when you like, comment on, and share a post, it provides additional opportunities to make your name visible, show that you are active on social media. So again, when you comment on a post of your friends, then all of their friends and followers are going to see you interacting with that post, and that just puts your name out there more. All right, so now going into, again, what Twitter created, and that is the hashtag. What exactly is a hashtag? So Twitter started using hashtags back in 2007, and the point behind it was to use it as a way to catalog keywords in order to help people find posts related to their search criteria. Obviously now hashtags are being used by pretty much every social site out there, and they're kind of using it for the same purpose. So for example, if you wanted to find every post that relates to health, you can search for the hashtag health, and every post that has ever used that hashtag will come up, and you can kind of sort through them that way. So it's kind of like using a hashtag is kind of like putting posts and images and everything into different libraries so you can easily find and access them without having to search through a lot of stuff that you don't care about. Now, the benefits to using a hashtag is it can also help build your brand awareness and engagement. It can allow you to be seen by people you wouldn't otherwise reach. So again, using the example of hashtag health, if NHT Global chooses to use that hashtag on every one of our posts, then we are only increasing our chance of being seen by those who search for that post related to health instead of just being seen by our followers. So if we post something on Instagram or on Twitter and we don't use any hashtags, the people who already follow our page will still see that post, but nobody else. If you start using hashtags like health or hashtag health and wellness, then people who are on Instagram and searching for posts related to those will now also see our post and could be interested in following us, which will help us gain followers. So now how to use a hashtag. Here are just a couple of different recommendations or ways to help you get started on maybe just even a couple of different rules on best uses for hashtags. So the first one is it's a good rule of thumb to use a mix of general and specific hashtags. For example, the hashtag probiotics is a very general hashtag. If you actually search for that hashtag, you'll come up with thousands, if not millions, of posts that have used that same hashtag. On the other hand, a more specific hashtag is actually hashtagging it with NHT probiotics. most likely now, if you search for that hashtag, you'll only find posts related to NHT probiotics. So the purpose of using a mix of general and specific ones, the specific ones help catalog your specific post into one spot that isn't mixed up with everybody else's posts. But again, to use a general hashtag like probiotics gives you the opportunity to increase your visibility so that other people can find you. The second one, use hashtags relevant to the content. Obviously, you don't want to take a picture of the sun and hashtag it moon, or, I mean, you want it to be relevant to the content. So the examples of, hashtag stay healthy and fit and hashtag fight COVID-19 could be used for a lot of different things, but it could be used for an at-home workout right now since everybody's stuck at home, or it could be used for your line of vitamins that you're using to keep your immune system up and help prevent you from catching coronavirus. So again, those are easy things too, is just use hashtags that are relevant and make sense to the content that you're posting. The third one is using industry-specific hashtags. So again, using health and wellness or hashtag healthy living, those are two hashtags that at NHT Global Corporate, we use quite often because we are in, that industry. We are trying to promote health and wellness in those people who care about health and wellness, and the same thing with healthy living. The last one is to use hashtags that are trending. And the way that you can figure that out, this is actually an example from Instagram. If you type in a hashtag in Instagram, you'll notice underneath it, it'll tell you how many posts there are related to each hashtag. Obviously, the number of posts, or the more number of posts that there are, the more that hashtag is trending. So obviously, in the example of COVID-19, that is a very trending hashtag right now, and we all know why. You can also find different sites, and you can Google that as well, trending hashtags. There's sites that will specifically tell you what hashtags are trending at the moment, but I find that the easiest way to do it is to type that in and look for, again, you're looking for hashtags that are still specific to your industry and the content and everything like that. So you can do that and at the same time find out which ones are the most trending. All right, so now going back to Facebook and going over the different types of how to sell your business and make sales on Facebook. So I broke it down into 3 different options. The first one is just a personal profile. And that is one that pretty much everybody on Facebook has. It is actually intended, the intended use for it is for personal communications and relationships. Facebook does discourage selling from personal accounts. And if you overdo it, I've heard of people that their accounts have been suspended or they get put in Facebook timeout or jail for that. So you do have to be careful with a personal profile and coming across as solely selling stuff and being spammy. I would say that it is okay if you are just starting out. It's definitely better than having nothing, but I would recommend that you move on to one of the other 2 options probably as quickly as possible. Again, if you are going to utilize your personal profile, I would recommend following the 90-10 rule that I have posted down here. And what this means is you should try to maintain the rule that 90% of your posts are just personal related items. They have nothing to do with your business or with selling NHT products. They're solely personal. And I would say only about 10% of your posts on your personal profile page should be business or selling related. I actually do recommend, I think your personal profile is better used for doing posts or encouraging your friends to move over and join your group or follow your page. So I'll move on to groups next, but your personal profile is better used for encouraging people to take that next step in following your business, profiles. So the next one is a Facebook group. Facebook groups have actually been increasing in popularity, and I don't know if you've seen commercials or ads for it, but Facebook is really promoting their groups right now, and they've done a lot of work to their groups and have provided a lot of benefits to them. So the main purpose of a group is to connect and group individuals with the same interest. So again, you could have an NHT group for people that are just interested in buying your products. That falls under those guidelines. I would say that this is a better option than a page for those of you who are just starting out, because it's a lot easier to set up and use versus a page. It is great for selling to close friends and family if that is what you are trying to accomplish right now, because groups are a lot more intimate and they're a lot more conversation friendly. You can have conversations back and forth within a group, and again, it comes across a lot more intimate and personal. Groups, actually, one of their big benefits is they have the best overall organic reach. And what I mean by organic reach is you don't have to pay and use advertising to get people to see your post. Every member in your group will actually get a notification every time that you post in a group. They do have the option to turn that off, but most of them want to keep up with it. So they will actually get notified of it, which does not happen with pages or your personal profile page. So that's a big benefit and a big plus. You can set your group to either a private group or a public group. If it's public, that means that anybody can find it, anybody can join it, but you can also keep it private where people have to actually ask to join it, or you have to invite people in. One of the big downfalls to a group is the fact that it's a little bit harder to moderate, in the sense that anybody that is part of the group has the same freedoms as you to post stuff. So you could have, the group set up for your business, and that could be your intended person, but somebody else could take advantage of that and decide to post in your group something that promotes their business. And there's not really a way to moderate that other than to kick them out of your group. So that I would say is probably one of the only downfalls to maintaining a group. Okay, let's move on to having a business page. So a business page is actually what I would consider your best option. They are set up specifically for businesses and for promoting products or for selling. I would say though that it is best for more advanced users, and those who are wanting to expand and grow their business. Business pages are a lot more upkeep. They are harder to set up and maintain. So if you're newer to Facebook, I wouldn't recommend jumping to that right away. Again, one of the benefits of a page is that all pages are public. It is easier for new customers to find you because it comes up in searches. It's public and anybody can like a page or follow a page. They don't have to get invited to it and they don't have to ask permission. Another benefit is there are options for paid advertising, so you can actually put money behind it to boost your post or to create an ad that will reach out to, you can put criteria in there for females in their 20s within Rome or, wherever. There's a lot of options there that you can run paid advertisements to so that you can get more clients. The downfall to it is because they give you the option for paid advertising, their page's organic reach is actually very low. You can have thousands of followers and yet only get 10% of those actually seeing your post. So it is a little bit harder to get your post constantly seen on a page. And Facebook created that way because they want you to pay to play, in a sense. They want you to use their paid advertisements, of course. So another benefit of a page is it is easier to moderate. You are the only one, as the owner of the page, that can actually post on a page. People can put posts on your page, but it goes in a separate spot where other people can't see it. So you are in complete control of what gets shown on the page, which is a big benefit. I should say, for even more advanced users, those who are already comfortable with a page and already have their business built up but are looking to keep growing and expanding, my best recommendation is to have a page and a group. So you would have your business page set up, and then you would actually create a group underneath your page, which is a new option that Facebook just added. And the reason we recommend this is your page kind of serves as like your front door. It gets people in the door, but because groups are so much more intimate and conversation friendly, that starts to serve as then your living room where you can start to build that relationship better. So that's my actual top recommendation of how to go about doing that. But again, I would just follow the different steps depending on where you are in your social media journey and how comfortable you are with the different options. So now going on to some best practices for using social media and for social selling. So some of these may be obvious, but it's important to go over. On social media, especially when you're trying to sell something, it's important to be real, authentic, and transparent with people. Again, people don't like when you come across fake or when you come across like you are just trying to sell something or get something out of them. That kind of goes into the next point with it's important to actually build relationships throughout this process and not just see individuals as customers as potential sales opportunities. People want to feel loved and cared for, and so building that relationship is important. Being thoughtful and friendly, encourage, motivate, and build others up. Be humble and helpful, and again, interact with your customers' posts. Show them that you care about what's going on in their lives and the stuff that they are posting and the stuff that they care about as well. So basically, social media is a lot like real life. You need to be real, you need to be connected, and you really need to just be yourself. Now going into representing the NHT brand while you're on social media, because that is important as well. As you know, you guys are all representatives of, NHT Global, and it's important to maintain certain aspects of the brand as well while you're on social media. So the first thing that we recommend is using a professional profile picture and a cover photo. Represent NHT in them if you can. You can see in this picture to the right, when we talk about a professional profile picture, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a business type looking profile picture. Just have it be clean, good lighting, well focused, not fuzzy or blurry, and definitely, just a nice, good, clean picture of yourself, not you doing something that you wouldn't want other people to see. And then again, for the cover photo, and in this example, it's a great example, a picture of, an award ceremony. It's got NHT in the background. It gets people talking and interested on what do you do? How did you manage to do that? So if you can represent NHT in them, great. But really, it is important to put your best foot forward and make sure you have a professional profile picture and your cover photo. The next one is we do recommend that you follow and interact with NHT company pages. As you know, NHT Global Corporate has our own page as well as each individual market. So we do recommend that you follow the corporate page as well as the market that you are in and interact with the pages. Let them know that you're there, that you're an active part on social media, not to mention, like we had said before, it increases your exposure when you interact on those pages as well. People are going to see that you are active on social media. Your name's going to constantly come up. So it benefits both the brand that way and you as the individual. And as people continue to share, the NHT company name, the brand's just going to grow, and that just creates more sales opportunities for you guys. So it's a win-win. The next one is make sure to share your own personal experiences and testimonies with the products and company. Word of mouth is just huge nowadays. It's, again, the studies are showing that people have pretty much made up their mind about a product before they ever even talk to somebody within the company. And a lot of that is coming from word of mouth. It's from their friends using it, their friends recommending the products. So people don't always want to hear a sales pitch. They want to hear your personal experiences. So we encourage you, share those. Share what you love about the products. Share what you love about the company. What of your personal experiences have been with it? That is the best word of mouth advertising that you can do. The last one is, so we had the 90-10 rule before with the Facebook profile picture. I recommend following an 80-20 rule for posting, and that applies for your groups and your business pages as well. And what the 80-20 rule is I recommend that 80% of your posts are more personalized posts. It's you sharing how the product works into your everyday life, or you sharing, photos of you at a webinar, or you at a sales conference, or events with the company. It's making it personalized and sharing your lifestyle and how the company and the products fit into your lifestyle. The other 20%, you can share content from, the corporate page or your individual market page about, we do a lot of posts about the products and good educational information on what the products could do for people. And sharing that stuff is great, but oversharing that and not giving any personalization to it is going to put people to sleep, and it's not going to get them interested in the product and in the company. So I would say 80% of your posts should be more personalized, and it should be you in the image, you holding the product, and only about 20% of those posts should be actually sharing content from our main pages. All right, so now things that you should do. Let's go over some things to avoid. The first one, again, comes down to this thing that people on social media do not want to be spammed, and they do not want to be sold to. So please, please, please do not solicit in public forums or send out mass messages to people. Facebook, this is a no-no for Facebook as well. They are really cracking down on this. So I would, again, be very careful in my opinion, avoid that completely. The same thing goes for the second one, sending friend requests to people you don't know. Don't just mass send friend requests to friends of your friends, or again, people you don't have a personal relationship with. That just comes across as spam, and it doesn't go over well in the social media world. You are better off. I know that you think that that's a quick, easy way to get a lot of people involved, but it's going to upset a lot of people. You're better off taking the longer approach and just interacting with people and getting new friend requests that way. All right, the third one is do not use company trademark logos for your profile picture. Again, we went over this. Please do a professional profile picture of yourself, but please do not use the company logo as your profile picture. Or again, use the company name when you are naming your pages and groups. And part of this is we want there to be distinguished, we want people to be able to distinguish between the distributors pages and our company pages, and we don't want there to be confusion in that. So again, people want to buy from people as it is, so it only benefits you more to have that personalized approach and not have, you know, NHT Global's name plastered all over the place. The next one is please, please, please do not self-advertise on company pages. And what I mean by that is going to one of the market pages or, you know, the corporate page, and in the comment section of their post, just posting a link to your shopping cart page. We have had instances of this happening, and as you can imagine, this could very, very quickly get out of control if everybody starts doing that. So we really do not want you to self-advertise. If you do that, your comments will most likely be deleted from the page. Again, it's already self-advertisement for you to leave a comment, but leave a comment saying that you love the product, or this is one of your go-to products and one of your favorite things to use, instead of just posting a link to your shopping cart. The last one is we also don't recommend, or I don't recommend, that you actually post your shopping link in your post description. So what I mean by that is you can see in this first photo back here, somebody had shared a post from our page, the Ariel video, and the only thing they wrote when they shared the post to all of their followers was, again, up here, posting their link to their shopping page. That again comes across very cold, very sales approach, and not very warm and inviting. People want to know why you're recommending this product. What do you love about it? Make it personalized for them. So a better example of this is the picture up front, where they went a step further and they said, hey, for Fiber Rich, this is for a nutritious breakfast every day. Shake it for about 10 minutes and give your big intestines a massage. So they gave their personal opinions and their personal approach on the product. They did, in this example as well, share their shopping cart link, but they at least made the post personal to their followers as well. Going a step further, I actually don't even recommend that you post the link to your shopping page on your post. It is better for you, again, going back to the building the relationship first, it is better for you to talk about what you're doing and have people ask you questions. Have them ask about the products, comment on your post asking you how to buy it or how much it costs, because then you can turn around and message them privately and start a conversation with them, find out what they're looking for, what they need, and then direct them that way. It's more of a hands-on approach instead of just assuming that if you post your link there, people are going to click on it, do their own shopping, find their own products. It's not the way that people like to shop. They like to get personalized recommendations, and they like that personal approach. All right. Now, the last few things that we need to go over is this. Again, I know a lot of you have probably gone through additional compliance training as well. So some of this is going to be pretty much the same thing, but just a few do's and don'ts that apply directly to social media. This one is about product claims. We'll just quickly run through these. The first one, we want you to share your own personal positive experiences with the products. Just make sure that they're consistent with approved claims. Don't, going back to the other side of what not to do, we don't want you making claims that the products can treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So even again, in your personal experience, if you had a great experience with one of our products and you feel like, hey, that helped me cure something, that's great, but we don't want to give people the impression that the product itself can turn around and cure everybody with that same problem. The next one is feel free to use claims, any claims that are found in company approved marketing materials. Those have already gone through the approval process, and so any of those are fair game. We ask that you do recommend that your customers talk to their healthcare providers for any health concerns. If they come to you asking, for a product recommendation to treat something, we recommend that you refer them back to their healthcare provider for that. Same thing with if they're concerned about a product mixing with a different antibiotic or something else that they're already on, medications that they're already on, we ask them to please talk to their healthcare provider first before making any decisions about adding a new product to their regime. Another thing we recommend is feel free to post the FDA disclaimer on products that says specifically this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The last don't would be using unapproved third-party pictures, celebrity endorsements, literature, or videos to promote the products. So what we mean by that is pulling photos off of another company's page and then turning around and using it to promote our products. There are copyright issues there, and if you don't have approval to use that, same thing with pictures of other people, you can get in trouble for that. So please try to avoid doing that. Now, when it comes to earning claims, kind of the same thing. We want you to talk about your compensation plan. Share your why with them. Share with people what made you want to be part of this business. Why do you do what you do? That what goes along with that is emphasize the importance of sharing the products. Why did you choose NHT Global out of all the companies that you could have chosen? What's so important about the products that we're selling? Also, we encourage you to talk about having fun with the business. Share your experiences with the trips you've been on or the people that you're meeting. Talk about the good experiences that you're having. And then again, you can, stress that, people can become successful through hard work and patience. But what we don't want you to do is make any offer or guarantee any kind of success. Obviously, it's different for every person. So along with that, please do not share your individual income earnings because everybody's experience is going to be different, and we don't want people to set people up to think that that's what the expectation is. Along with those lines, again, making unrealistic lifestyle claims. Don't promise people that if they join the business, they can buy that new car that they've been looking for, go on a lavish vacation, or anything tangible. We don't want to make those promises to people. All right, so now we have come to the portion of questions. Does anybody have any questions on anything that we went over? I don't see anything in the chat. So I'm not sure if the chat is working or if there just aren't any questions.
Right. I don't see questions, but anyway, if they have questions, they can also send to support.eu@nhtglobal.com. So we will reply later if they don't have them right now, but they could come later.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm going to give it just a minute here. If anybody has a question, feel free to type it in the chat box now and I can go over that. But again, like Antonella said, if you have questions after this, definitely feel free to email them and we can follow up with questions that come up later. So actually, while we're waiting to see if anybody has any questions, I am also going to give you guys a challenge after this. We're going to do a little bit of a contest, and we are calling it our social media challenge. And you have 24 hours to complete the challenge for a chance to win. And here are the steps of the challenge. The first one is to go and like the NHT Global Europe, NHT Global Corporate, and NHT Global Scandinavian pages. You can do that either on Facebook or on Instagram. All three of them have pages on both. And then the second one is we want to see you guys post a selfie or a video with one of your favorite NHT Global products. Please feel free to be as creative as possible. Creativity is definitely going to count in this. And then along with the selfie or video, we want to see you write a personalized description on your post about what you love most about the product. Why did you choose that product? How do you use it in your daily life? When you go to post that, make sure that you tag NHT Global Europe, NHT Global Corporate, and NHT Global Scandinavian in your photo and video. So that will give you guys a little bit of practice on how to tag. And then don't forget to use the hashtag NHT to a better me. And just to clarify with hashtags, I capitalized some of the letters in this hashtag here just so that it's easier to read. But whether you capitalize it or you leave it all lowercase, it does not matter with a hashtag. It'll be the same hashtag either way. Again, so for a prize, one winner will be chosen for this, and you will receive the product that you chose to take a picture or a video with. So we will send you out a free product based off of what you post in your photo and video. All right, well, it doesn't look like there's any questions for right now, so that does conclude it. Again, I thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Antonella, for giving me the opportunity to do this.